but it's like you are carrying the trauma with you instead of looking towards a brighter day. We're relying on this where we have been, which has not been emotionally fulfilling, to predict where we're headed because that's safer. Hello, Sag. Welcome. Thank you all so very much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate you all for being here. All right, we're going to jump on in, loves, get your messages. Hopefully, everything is great with you, Sag. I sure hope you've been well. Whew, jumping on in, we're going to get your current situation, the new information, and what you need to be aware of here, Sag, okay? How to handle and process that new information. Ascensions moving forward for you, love, and the lesson that you need to learn from all this, okay? Do keep in mind that they are general messages. So if this happens to not resonate for you, Sag, do feel free to check out your moon, rising, or Venus sign videos. And feel free to skip ahead because we're going to pull out the entire spread first and then we're going to talk about it, right? So feel free to find the timestamp in the description box below for your convenience. Okay, what's going on with Sag? What's going on with Sagittarius right now, Spirit? Current energies. We have the Hanging Man, the World, and the Sun card reversed. Okay. New information. New information. We have the Two of Wands. How to handle, how to process that new information. Eight of Cups. Ascensions, moving forward. Moving forward for Sag. Three of Cups wanted to come out. Ascensions, moving forward for Sag. Where is Sag headed in this energy here? Ooh, that's nice. Knight of Cups. And what is the lesson Sag needs to learn here? We have the Five of Cups. Interesting. Okay, Sag, let's talk about it. So this feels like a very heavy time for you. It feels like there's something here that's weighing on your shoulders, on your mind, has you maybe a little bit depressed, a little bit in your feelers here. All right. With the Hanging Man, this is all majors, by the way. So whatever it is that you're going through right now, Sag, whatever energy you're sitting in at this moment, it's pretty big and it's pretty important. And it has something to do with your fulfillment. And I also feel like the way you see happiness, the way you see life in general, the way you perceive the world, the way in which you move about the world, Sag. All of these things coming into play, all of these feelings. Like right now, it's just a very deep soup of feeling is what I'm getting out of this. And I feel like Spirit is really highlighting here, instead of feeling this like deep longing, sadness, things are dark, they're mucky, instead of worrying here about the things that we don't know potentially, we should be focused here, Sag, on how far you've come. How far you've come. Card of Leo with that Sun card of Pisces with the Hanging Man. Can't remember if I said that. So we're addressing here this depression or this sadness or this like this little slump. It feels like a slump that we're in right now, where things are a little bit slow going or slow moving. Now, your new information here, we have the Two of Wands. We will need to choose a path. Sag. And it feels like we can go forward victoriously, or we can take pain and sadness with us. We can go forward fearfully and, oh, it's dark out here and I don't know which way to go. And, oh, but all of the things that I've left behind. Oh, but all of the places that I have been. It is almost like a longing for the past as well, or just this like dread of moving on or moving past something. But we have the Two of Wands here. You have choices for movement here. You have paths to choose. A choice is going to need to be made here coming in the future. Right, Sag? Four of Wands, it's a choice related to your stability, potentially involving other people. This may be a choice of who to offer said stability to. Right? With the Four of Wands, it's a celebratory card. It often talks about engagements, marriages, solidification here. Right? So you have a path of solidification. Whether you accept someone else's proposal or love awful offer, or whether you choose to make that decision to solidify, to pick someone and to solidify with them, or you could just be in a category of you're seeking and searching for what will stabilize these things, right, in your life. Stabilize your life, stabilize your world here. But your how to handle and process is the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups talks about emotional unfulfillment. We need to walk away from what has not worked. We need to walk away past confusion, past excess, right? And we leave behind and we shed and we purge that which no longer serves. All of these old cups that are half filled, none filled, it's time to walk away from something. And I feel like we need to gain new perspectives here, Sag, and to really solidify your future, we have to bravely make a choice to pick that path, even if it's scary. Pick that path, even if it's unknown. Pick the path of leaving those feelings behind in the first place, where we're worried about where we're headed. Because going forward, we have the Knight of Cups, right? Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces in this Knight. This is carrying forward with what you find fulfilling. So this is literally leaving behind that which does not serve or work, leaving behind the old emotion related to, and these people in general, these situations, the feelings related to such, and the situations themselves, and just walking away from it to find what truly makes you happy here. Sag, now for some of you, this could be a person rushing in. I can't help but notice here the card of the past. We haven't reconciled with our past. So before we move on to something new, purging is necessary, but also some clarity here, darling, on what would fulfill us in the first place, right? Because it's one thing to have these two paths in front of you, but there is a bit of confusion as to which one will lead to this, right? Which path will lead to this stability? Do I accept their offer? Do I offer myself? Is it safe to go forward? Or should I stay right here? Should I stay right here where things are mucky and slumpy and I don't feel so great? Spirit is saying, no, keep moving, love. Keep trucking along. I also want to say your feelings are valid, Sag, whatever that means for you, all right? We have the Nine and we have the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Wands. Now see this contrast, right? Like we have our thoughts and these anxieties and this dread coming, I feel in a future state, right? But this is the choice to move past these vibrations of burden, of strife, of worry, of anxiety, of fret, of dread. If you lead with your heart, darling, Spirit is saying you can't ever go wrong if you lead with your heart. What's love got to do with it? What's love got to do with it? A lot, actually. Love has a lot to do with this because there's something deep in your heart space, love. Something is in your heart. It is weighing you down. There's a message of come to the light. There is a message here, Sag, of you have moved past things that you might not be aware that you've moved past. You know what I mean? You've completed these cycles. We can allow ourselves now to cut those ties and freely and bravely go through and go forward. Now we have the Five of Cups in your lesson, this regret, this sadness, this shame, this pain. Whew, more on this lesson. What is this Five of Cups? A five. Something needs to change. But also maybe something has changed, and that's what has you confused and sad and regretful. This like wonderment of can I? What will work for me? What will help? Nothing will help. It's almost like a plea, but also an encasement, a plea to the universe to bust you out of a prison here of sadness or darkness. And we wish to seek stability, but we're carrying feelings in our heart here, Sag, that are not manifesting the results that you're desiring to seek. I am talking way too long. Tell me more about this Five of Cups here. Three of Wands in reverse. And we have the Nine of Wands. Walls need to come down here, Sag, with the Nine of Wands in reverse, okay? So this is like a lack of hope, a loss of hope, a loss of something that's caused us deep, I almost wanted to say deep scarring or deep trauma. Gosh. But it's like you are carrying the trauma with you instead of looking towards a brighter day. We're relying on this where we have been, which has not been emotionally fulfilling, to predict where we're headed because that's safer than just saying, okay, universe, I'm ready. Can you be my light? You know, there's this sadness, this darkness is being held onto as if it's like a security blanket. If I remember where I've been, then I can't, then I'll see it if it happens again. I'll remember if it happens again. I'll be able to recognize it. You got to be really clear about where we're headed here. We can have this beautiful, passionate, loving, all these ideas and all of these things that we think are going to bring us happiness, and we go to follow our heart when really we're following some narrative. We're following something that we thought was our heart, but it wasn't our heart. We were following the darkness without realizing it. So this is spirit saying, get really, really clear and see where you've been, see what you've overcome already, and look at it in a different light now. Let's get your advice. Advice. Ooh, base chakra wanted to come out, you guys. That's the root chakra energy. Stability. We are talking stability, you guys. We have emotional loss here with another five coming in reverse next to our foundation and achievements, just like the Four of Wands. Okay, so this is literally like the Four of Wands, which we already have, and the Five of Cups, which we already have. But with our 5, it's coming in reverse, letting it go, purging it out to gain stability, to gain clarity, to gain stability. You see, he's clutching his heart. I get this, like, I can't breathe. Let it go. You can choose a path that will solidify you, but not if you're choosing to go down the path that you know is either purposefully dark, like you've been there, you've done that, or you're trying to like take the darkness with you down the path that is light. We have transformation. Transformation. Another 4, but it was coming here in the reverse. So I do feel that this is hard, to allow these feelings to purge and allow the situation to change and to realize that things have transformed within you or to allow that transformation within you here, Sag. It is scary. It doesn't always feel so great. This also has like maybe it's like a little bit of growing pains here, right? Authority, the fatherly energy. Here comes the emperor. Just as I'm speaking about, yeah, I think you got to be the authority figure in your own life here. Because just as I'm speaking about that, we get this side of you that is wanting it to be more stable, wanting it to be, it's your masculine energy, right? We want it to be this way. But if it's growing pains, you feel me? Like, and then here's the daddy. It doesn't feel good, but we have to push through it. That's what I got out of that. That's what we're getting out of this. This doesn't feel great, but we have to push through it. And I know it will help you to remember where you've been, to purge out those old feelings, to learn the lessons. Like all of our pain, all of our experiences teach us a lesson. When we learn these lessons, we accumulate this knowledge and we have to push past those bad feelings and rise to the good ones. It's very challenging. Here's material harvest for you if that helps. I'm coming in with a 9. But I feel like that stability you're seeking, the material harvest you're seeking here, Sag, will come once we start making steps towards getting through this mucky gunky energy, allowing that purge of that old. We learned those lessons. Just know you had to go through those experiences. There is no going back. We can't sit here and say, I wish it were XYZ. Man, if I didn't do dot dot dot. But you can't go back and fix it. So the only thing that you can do now that those things have occurred and the sadness is already here is we can say, okay, I've learned X. And so because I've learned X, and the only way that I could have learned X is by going through dot 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 to get there. I'm so glad I know X now. And now that I have this knowledge, I can willingly and freely choose a path that is more stable for me. If that requires offering or accepting or whatever that Knight of Cups is for you going forward, right? Because it absolutely could be love offers coming in or going out as well. The point here is transformation from within, stabilization from within, so that we see the material harvest. We see that which has been manifested in the mirror on the out. From within, so be without. Wait, from the in to the out. You know what I mean? Your outer reality is a reflection of what is happening in your heart space. Okay, darlings. Let's get you one more and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, so first of all, I said one more and we've got a block of crazy here. We got disruption, we got patience and planning, but then look at what else we have. New beginnings, you guys. The Fool. The Fool. Patience and planning. Phew. Now, with disruption, I'm getting here you don't want a disruption of your flow, but you're actually disrupting your own flow by carrying all this emotional baggage. So it's like super hard to just be like, cut the ties, let it go. And I understand how cliche it is, but honey, cut the ties and let it go. God, I look like a ghost right now. What is happening here? Um, because we're going forward, we really need to go with a clean slate here, Sag. And it is going to hurt. And it is going to hurt for a while. And it's going to be a struggle. And it's going to be these growing pains and navigating through the darkness. And but don't forget to take what you've learned. And don't forget to have the patience to plan for the future. That is the plan. Purging and getting through this, that should be the plan. I feel like those ideas are what is disrupting to you. I feel like you're in here, a place where you just kind of want to flip off the switch, you know, and not have any problem, not have to go through the painful aspect of the transformation, just to skip to the new beginning without getting the death. And I'm sorry, that's not how it works, right? Now, the good thing is I do see things stabilizing for you in the future if you lead with your heart. But that heart won't be any good to lead you into any good places if it's carrying a bunch of yuck. So that's where you start on this new adventure. You start by allowing those feelings to go. You start by looking at that pain and saying, yeah, but I had to go through that. And then realize here, make those conclusions as to why we had to learn those very specific lessons, right? That's when we cap off with the world. That's when we're able to move. That's when we have a light heart to go forward with. That's when the transformation that is happening on the inside will be reflected in your outer reality. And that is when material harvest comes into play. That is when stability comes into play. All right, Sag. So keep that in mind. And I hope that helps, loves. Wishing you the best of luck. Do like, share, comment, subscribe, especially if it helps you guys. I really appreciate you and all the love and support right back at you guys. Until I see you next time. Mwah, Sag. Peace, love, and light to you always. Namaste.